I watched for years when we did this thing, we would have great employees who would leave because they wanted to spend time at home with their families, which is a great decision. And then they would come back years later and, you have this talent and you have a gap on the resume. And so what we did is we put this program in where when we buy companies, we have these people who we keep on kind of a part-time retainer, if you will. And as we buy companies, we spin them up. And so you might have a stay-at-home parent that says, I can't work full-time. I don't and so if they can't work full-time, they're not going to have child care. But you know what? If you got 2 or 3 month gig, I'm interested. And so we started doing that. And now I think we get 20 or 30 people in that program that whether they're, they had low contracts or they're doing accounting for us on acquisitions. But it's little things like that adding up into, one big equation that you keep just trying to find ways to keep talent engaged and interested. And, sometimes like now I see now that we're getting older as a company, those people are coming back to work. Their kids are getting into junior high or high school. And so now they're not at home as much, or they don't need to be. And so they want to get after their career. I think the daycare will be a huge amenity. It's not open yet. We're still in the process, but I always think about that. I don't, if someone makes the choice to go back, I want to do everything I can to keep them engaged and happy. And we have 90 days of maternity leave and paid. I remember thinking about that. You give people 6 weeks of paid, and I thought, well, it's not a lot of money to go to 90 days, but it's a huge benefit. And then if you tack on like the daycare and after that, I think that having your kids there at the office, and maybe you could just pop down and say hello on a bad day, or just if you're feeling bad about the fact that you're there, that's a big difference than if your kid's in another location, you can't see them. And so helping people on those, and with those big decisions with their career, I think that's probably one of the biggest ones